Hey everybody, it's Carrie Oberbrunner, and I have with me a very special guest. She has brown hair, just like Amber, but she's not Amber. This is Patty. So how you doing today, Patty?
Oh my gosh, I am doing so good. It is such an honor to be here. So yeah, I'm actually filling in for Amber. I
But you're
work
on Amber's team.
I'm what?
But you're on Amber's team.
I am on her team. Yes, I work for NG Enterprises for Amber. We've been doing the book launch marketing piece of the business together for, gosh, it's almost been 2 years since I've
Yeah,
been with her. So it's been such a blast.
awesome. Well, let me tell everyone what they're gonna get today. Okay, so folks, Yavina, I see you're here. She's monitoring the Facebook comments today. So here's what everybody's gonna get. Okay. We are literally 9 days away from the book launch, and I'll be honest, Patty, like, emotions are going like this, okay? Because it's I don't know, maybe it's like getting married, who knows? But you plan the day. I mean, you plan the day for years, and, you're not picking out a dress, you're picking out the cover, and you're inviting the guests not to the dinner but to the book launch, and so there's a lot of feelings like that. And do you notice that authors sometimes get the jitters?
Absolutely. Yeah. Typically, what happens right around this time, yeah, it's within that 2 week mark before launch, we'll have that call, one of our, last calls leading up to launch day. And they're stressed, right? You can hear it. They've got a checklist. They're concerned. They're worried. What about this, that, here, there? What's happening? And I really feel like that call, a lot of time, what we're doing is we're just trying to calm you and tell
Yeah,
you everything's
like counseling.
okay. Because what's really happened up until this point, a lot of the work has already been done. It's been done. The buildup has been done. We've been out there on social media. We've been live streaming. We've been podcasting. We've been, just managing the project all along the way. The web pages are built. The bonuses are done. The email nurturing sequence is happening. The book's on, Amazon, or it's with the bookstores. We're driving pre-orders. So all of that's been happening now, whether it's been the past several weeks or the past several
Sure.
months. And so this time it's a little quiet. And I think that what happens is a lot of time authors feel like, how come nothing's happening?
Yeah.
It's happening. It's all just in motion and it's been happening. But yeah, a lot of the work has been done up until this point.
Yes, I agree. Well, and here's the thing. If you're a super achiever like me, and again, I think I'm a super achiever because I just feel like there's no competition with other people, but you're always competing against what you could do, you know? And some of that can be, I mean, we're having an honest chat here today, folks. Karen, welcome. Um, on your unhackable book that showed up at your house. Excited for the tribe. Fantastic.
All right.
Awesome. So, right now you can fall into this trap. And here's what I'm doing. We're going to give some tips away to people, okay? So, number one, I was on a chat with a gentleman today named Chad. And Chad, I launched his book last week for him. And Chad Willardson, great guy. But he said, all gas, no brake. All gas, no brake. And what he meant by that was like 2 weeks from now, when the book's already out and we had the conference and we had the launch, I don't want anything left in the tank. Like, I don't want to say, Patty, I should have called my friend, but I just was scared. Remember how we had some of these chats early on?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
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 Where you're like scared to ask for help because you're a giver. And I think a lot of our people watching today, Karen, Ryan, they're all givers. He's launching his third book. So write some of these tips down, folks. Patty, explain why people should ask for help, because I think that's what a lot of authors struggle with.
So, one thing think about when somebody asks you for help, right? You feel good. You feel like, wow, somebody wants my knowledge or they need me. And they felt that they could actually come to me and ask me for help. So it feels really good when somebody asks us for our help. So to turn it around the other way, when we need to ask others for help, it's hard to ask, right? We're asking someone to give their time, give something of themselves. Everybody, we're so busy and there's so much going on. But remember, put yourself in those shoes when somebody asks you for help. It feels really good. So by not asking someone for help, you're actually, in a way, denying them the opportunity to feel good.
Yeah.
And because when we do help others, we feel really good and
Yeah.
we see the success that they've had, or we see what happens, from our support or from our help. And so, yeah, by not asking for help, you're actually denying somebody else the opportunity to feel good. And so let's make it people feel good, right?
There you go. There you go. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to make this so easy for people, because I think that another reason why people struggle is they don't know how to equip people. So it's one thing to ask, hey, can you support my launch? It's another thing to show people. So let's talk about some of the psychology of what we did here on this page. This page, I'm going to skip to the bottom. And by the way, all these people are amazing. Some of them are watching, but your team did a great job laying out the reviews. And, we have a message, then we have revolving endorsements. But let's get down to the very important things, which are sample emails. So sample emails, I get it. We have a bunch of people who are watching that are going to be launching a book. Karen's going to be launching a book. Sean's asking questions. Who would you go to? Ryan's saying, he called me Katie, but it's okay. He said autocorrect. It's all good. I've been called a lot worse. I like the name Katie. But here's let's show these people. We supply our team with, are you getting hacked? They're trying to steal your superpower. You'll make 35,000. I mean, literally, this is an email that someone can copy and paste and send to their friends. And now instead of saying, hey, can you support my book launch? We've done all the thinking for them. And of course, take out high name. You do not want that, right, Patty? It's not a good thing.
We can take that out, yeah.
Yeah, take that out.
His name.
But it's literally what I would want someone to send out as an email. And let's talk about, is this working? Let's show people the results here. By the way, this is called, it starts with the letter S. It's 2 words, swipe copy. So talk to us about swipe copy as I get our next window open here.
For sure. Yeah. So listen, coming up with content is hard. Again, we're busy. We've got 100 other things we're doing. And so we know that, through our book launches, we need support of, friends and influencers and colleagues to help us get the word out, to help us expand our reach. So first, we need to ask, would you be willing to help support my book launch? And when we get feedback and they said, yeah, tell me what I can do. What we want to say is, actually, we've done all the work for you. We've created some pre-written emails that you can copy and paste. You can customize in your own voice if you want to, but we just wanted to give you that head start. So we know you're busy. We know you don't have a lot of time. So here's the copy pre-written for you. Another way that this works also is thinking about like book endorsements, right? Imagine if somebody came to you and said, hey, would you review my book? Wouldn't you feel so honored? Like, yes, you want me to review your book? Okay. But then people get caught up on, oh gosh, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to write. What's the right thing? How long does it need to be? Same thing. You could provide some suggested text or copy that then they could take and modify if they want to and rewrite and put into their own voice, which a lot of people do, which
Mhm.
is perfectly okay. But yeah, same thing with the emails. If you can pre-write it, it means less thinking, less doing on the other side. And you're like, wow, you did the work for me. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think that's so true. And let's talk about the results. Like, have you seen the video of the first 2,000 that came to the door? Have you seen that yet?
I have not.
I'm going to show you that, but like this just popped up the other day, and already it's a #1 new release, and it's all pre-sale. Okay, so folks, we're doing this pre-sale, and the Kindle's up, the hardcover, the paperback, so people can literally pre-order it, all versions except for audio. Audio is still loading, but what I am going to show you is you gotta record the moments. So I think one thing I did, Patty, is when the truck arrived, I got out my camera. You know what I'm saying? And some people think, oh, what will people say? Blah, blah, blah. You just gotta push through it, don't you think?
Yeah, it's okay. People really want to see behind the scenes what's happening, right? We want to see it all. We want to hear it all. We want to hear the good and the bad and the
Yes.
struggle and the success. It's okay, right? It's
Yeah.
not all rosy all the time for everybody. We all know that.
So let me know if you can see this. Can you
Oh,
see this?
yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so Unhackable Books, 2,000 copies just arrived, 5,000 more on the way. And we're not going to listen to the sound or anything, but I just, did this little video holding in my hand, no special equipment. But then I took people over to the cases of books, and more than saying, hey, I got a bunch of books, what I did, Patty, is I showed people how each book was freeing a sex slave, digging a well,
Oh.
you know, um, feeding a family, clothing a village, all because of B1G1. And I'll tell you what, people got behind this video. There's over 1,000 people who've watched. We open it together. But you see what I'm saying? I'm not making the book be like, hey, look at my book only. I'm telling people you're changing lives. And I feel like when we can make that connection, people even get it more. What do you think?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love that more. What you're doing really is so much more about the book, right?
Yeah.
Um, we really are helping people in a variety of ways, right? Not just the people who are reading the book, but people who are in need of just really basic things, right? We forget sometimes, especially with all the noise that's happening around us
Yeah.
right now, right? And it's just going to get worse as we get closer to, election day. There's a lot happening. And so it's so comforting and so reassuring just to know that it's a good reminder. There's other things happening out there in the world, right? It's not all about us.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm so glad you told me about B1G1 because here's Columbus, Ohio, but these are all the places where not me, the people who've bought the book. So, we've given 35 meals to nursery children in Ethiopia. We've given 14 days of business training and microfinance to support women, disadvantaged children, school fees for children in Thailand. I mean, this is unbelievable that the sex trafficking survivors in Vietnam's medical visits. So these people are not just saying, oh, I'm supporting Carrie or, oh, I'm buying a book. Not only are they going to learn how to become unhackable in work and life, which is killer, but every single book is setting someone free. And that makes me feel special because it's not about me. And so people can literally pre-order now. We've put a ton of discounts available, and people are buying like 100, or even one guy 1,000. So what do you think about those large orders that people did?
Oh my gosh. So I love the fact, first of all, that you offered the opportunity for multi-book order. And I think sometimes people forget about that. And some of the things that we've seen, and a little bit too of even what, you're doing, is by offering some, additional incentives when you purchase, additional quantities. But it's definitely something to think about, what market or what group of people could you go after that might be interested in, whether it's something like a book club or community leaders, or could it be church leaders even, or HR managers,
Yep.
thinking about those groups, who's out there that could really benefit, from a group of people consuming the same content. And what's happening now, more than ever, is people are really feeling that need for connection, right? And we're still at home, some people are going back, some of us aren't, but we're really longing for that need for connection. And I love the idea of the book club. I heard a little bit about that last week. And I think, first of all, it's a great way to learn with a group of people, right? It also keeps you accountable by doing that, because, okay, we're going to meet tomorrow, or we're going to meet next Tuesday, and make sure you get your work done. And sometimes, I might procrastinate until the day before the due date to do it. So
Absolutely. Well, I love it. I love it. And here's what we're going to share too. We've had hundreds of people join the VIP launch team. And so I'm going to just pop that in the channel right here. And Yavina, if you can do that too, but unhackablebook.com/team. So people do get a free hardcover. Well, I should say, when you join the team, you get a hardcover. You also get the backstage for all the things that we've been showing people how to do in this launch. But Yavina, I'm also going to ask you to drop the code, because we have this crazy 5% off code as well that's available for a limited time, where a lot of people are using that and buying bulk copies. Let's talk about some other things. We talked about the swipe copy. Now let's talk about some of the other things, like the social shares. So I'm bringing this up, but again, anyone who's watching this, and someone said, should I start doing my book launch process now when I'm launching a campaign at the end of the year? Yes.
yes.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
right? Right, Patty? Like, I tell authors, you cannot start too early. What do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah. Now is the time. In fact, you might even be a little bit behind the game, but it's okay. We won't stress you out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good content that's happening here. But yeah, definitely start thinking about, can you start doing live streaming and podcasting? Are there any sort of pre-order bonuses, you can start talking about? If not, just create a lead magnet to drive people to your website or your book page, and give them a little something for opting in to get notified once the book is released. Start thinking about, the different email nurturing sequences, how you're going to start informing people about what's happening during this time building up to launch day. Again, is there, where are you going to be appearing at? Do you have any classes or courses? Are there any events you could do? Man, so many great things. Yeah. And just getting ready, preparing all of the graphics and the swipe copy, and even suggested social posts. We talked about suggested emails that you can, send to, your fans and followers, but you can also create social copy and images, and don't worry about, like, well, what if, 100 people see the same image and copy, but it's coming from 100 different users. That's amazing. That's what you want, right?
Hey, Coca-Cola's not worried if you see a billboard twice, right?
That's right. That's for sure, right? Think about how many times you've seen the same commercial over and over again, right? It's how we retain things. So it's perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So anybody can go to unhackableinfluencer.com. They can see not only if they're launching their own book, they can see an example. But I'm just going to be so bold and say, hey, folks, listen, the book's going to help everyone who got hacked in 2020, everyone who's been sidelined and sabotaged from their dreams. So you're going to feel good helping people. But beyond that, every purchase goes to help B1G1 and help someone in need. So people can literally grab tweets. They can literally grab Facebook samples, LinkedIn samples, and even graphics. And these graphics are awesome, little quotes. What do you recommend when people grab quotes from their book? What kind of quotes are good, do you think?
Oh my gosh, I would say those are the most powerful and memorable, and you feel like everybody needs to hear this. If there's one thing everybody needs to hear, it's this one statement or, this one sentence. What is really powerful, something that is really going to resonate with people because you're sort of whetting their appetite and getting them excited and like, wow, this statement was so powerful. What was happening before? What is the content before and after? And so you're getting people excited and giving them a little peek behind the curtain of what to expect when they get the book. Here's what you can expect to read or get from it.
I love it. It's fantastic. So we talked about the normal jitters. We talked about the 2-week before period. We talked about facing the fear. We gave people some great websites that they can go to and check out. We also, let's talk about the big launch. We're doing a live stream. We're doing it in front of over 500 people. And again, people might hear numbers and say 7,000 books, 500 people. This is after doing it 16 years. Like when I first started, I had 3, but the way you build is to treat those 3 people like rock stars. What do you think about that? What about the person who says, well, I only have a small group of people? Do you think that that's an irrational fear? Do you think it's an excuse? What do you think?
Not at all. Those small group of people, they know people. And listen, we all need to start somewhere. I'll tell you what, I do a live streaming show, No Guts, No Glory Live, and I don't have a huge audience. And I feel like that's okay because if I make a mistake or I stumble my words or, lose a thought, I feel like, who cares? There's only a
Right.
couple hundred views. So I'm learning, I'm figuring out along the way. And each time I do it, I'm just going to get better and better at it, just as long as I keep at it and keep doing
Yeah,
it. So yeah, that's perfectly okay. We're
absolutely.
all starting somewhere. And I think you'll hear everybody say, when I started speaking, 2 people showed up,
Right.
now they've got audiences of, 5, 10,000 people watching.
Yes.
They're huge, but we all have to start someplace.
You got to stick with it. Absolutely. Well, folks, any other questions that you have? I know people have been saying some great things. Karen spent over a weekend on graphics, and it makes her day easier. Glad to hear that. I'm just going to invite some people. Come to Igniting Souls Conference. We are literally doing an unhackable 3 days of training for authors, coaches, speakers, entrepreneurs. And I would just encourage anyone. Amber's going to be there as well. And we're going to teach people a lot of great tips, tricks, and tools. Plus, we're going to launch the book in real time. So it's going to be an absolute blast. In fact, Tanisha just pointed out the Unhackable book launch. There it is. And I would, let us know, Tanisha. That might have ran together. Let me know if that works okay. But there's the conference. And we even have a little code. This is a 5% off code for any of the books, Unhackable Tribe 2020. Anything else you want to say for people who might be timid, nervous? How important is book marketing, Patty?
Oh, it's huge. And first of all, if you're nervous, right, like anything, lean into the fear. We've all heard it. If it doesn't challenge us, it doesn't change us. So do something that makes you afraid, right? I think I heard something once like the only way to be courageous is to be afraid, right? Is to have fear. So, hey, lean into it for sure. Book launch marketing is pretty important, right? You've got to find different avenues to get the word out. And listen, we don't all have, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend on big PR campaigns and big marketing campaigns and hire all these agencies to do all these things for us. So there's some really great ways to get the word out, doing things like live streaming, what we're doing now, free events. Hey, have a virtual book launch party. We're actually doing that with one of our clients, right?
Oh, yeah.
we can't all be together. Sure, we'd love to do, a big party somewhere in a restaurant, but guess what? We just can't do that. And actually, to be honest, I don't think this client could afford to do that anyways, right? That costs tens of thousands of dollars to do. So let's have a virtual book launch party. Why not? Let's have some fun. He's got family coming on, some friends coming on, some influencers coming on, and it's a big party. It's happening over several hours, and it's all online, and everybody's welcome to join us. So there's a lot of different ways to help get the word out, right? To do it effectively, cost effectively, and efficiently, without, having to dig deep into those pockets.
Absolutely. I've done a ton of book launches virtually. I think they're fantastic. In fact, even if someone does do one in person, do another one online, right? I mean, you can't. And for the one hater who says, wait, you have 2 book launches, listen, it's back to the wedding analogy. Some people have the wedding party at the wife's hometown, and then you go and have it at the groom's. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, there are no rules with book launches. A lot of things are experimental. We've done some things that have worked amazing, and we've done some things that have been like flat. So it's great. But Patty, thank you so much for being here. In fact, people are quoting you here. They love the comment about say that again. If it doesn't challenge us, it doesn't change
us. Yes.
I love that. That's good. Well, listen, thanks for being here. And people can find out more about you. Where at?
Oh gosh, you can learn about me, ngnteam.com/Patty, but NGNG Enterprises. And it was such an honor to be here. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity. Luckily for me, Amber couldn't make it, so I got to be here. And man, some big shoes for sure, but it's such an honor.
You did awesome. All right, folks. Well, listen, if this was helpful, tag a friend, share it, get the word out for people who have the jitters. It's normal, and go launch your book. See you later.
Thank you.